there's this big fire. Like, it sounded like glass broke. Like, it was so scary.
Fire tears through parts of a Sanford city block, and crews from all over southern Maine converge on Island Avenue, trying to stop that blaze from jumping between buildings. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill. Lee Goldberg is off tonight. We have team coverage in Sanford. Chris Costa has the latest on that massive fire. We now know one woman was sent to the hospital, and Dustin Vlitkowski just heard from fire officials. He will tell us about the fire marshal's investigation. First, though, this block has a history in Sanford. You may remember a mother who wanted to take her street back from the drug dealers she suspected were selling in a school zone. With help from her friends and neighbors, Carrie Ziegel brought awareness to the problem. A few weeks later, Sanford police arrested a suspected drug dealer for trafficking drugs in a school zone. Now, Chris Costa first reported on this story. Tonight, he is back on that block for a very different reason. But Chris, the house that went up in flames has been on police radar for a while.
Yes, Amanda, that's right. I just want to tell you a little bit about what you're looking at right now. You can see in the distance there a number of fire crews. We've seen them starting to clean up. Just a few moments ago, we saw Central Maine power crews also leave the scene. There was, obviously due to the fire, part of a power outage to a portion of this neighborhood. You had mentioned, Amanda, that police have had this neighborhood kind of on their radar. We spoke to the deputy chief earlier today. One thing that he told us was that they have arrested people at the home where this fire originated at 33 Island Avenue. They've arrested people who live there. They have not arrested them at the home, but they have arrested them as that being their permanent address on drug charges in the past. As we told you when we spoken with Carrie Zelke before, this is an area that she believes is rampant with drug activity. We know there have been previous arrests of people also in this general vicinity regarding drug trafficking charges. It is about 200 feet or less from a school, and that elevates those drug trafficking charges. So police, yes, have had this area on their radar for quite some time. You can kind of hear those trucks backing up in the distance. There were dozens of fire departments here, Arundel, Acton, North Berwick, Sanford, Alfred, and that's just to name a few. There were dozens and dozens of first responders here, as well as Sanford police trying to control all of the streets in this area because it is kind of like a grid. We want to send it now to Dustin Vlitkowski, who has the latest. He just heard from fire officials about the latest on the investigation into this fire.
Yeah, Chris, this information coming in just the last 20 minutes or so. Firefighters say that there were a few injuries as a result of the fire here. One person actually had a heart attack because of what happened, and a number of people were taken into observation because they were having anxiety attacks. Firefighters also say that this fire spread very quickly to 5 different buildings in the surrounding area. They also say there were a number of difficult conditions they were facing, like power lines down in the street.
We had rapidly advancing fire through multiple buildings, so we had a heavy fuel load. We had a strong wind blowing that fire. Of course, always initially you can never get enough manpower or water where you need it initially. And we also, because of the location of the power lines, we had power lines burning and falling in the street, which makes the firefighters' working area that much more dangerous to have to deal with.
And because those power lines came down, power has been shut off to the surrounding blocks around here. Firefighters expect that to continue until about midnight or so. They're also continuing their investigation to figure out exactly where this fire started.